microphone. Okay, so last week, Ellison, we read the story called Son of Laughter, where Abraham, that old man, his wife had a baby. So this is where our story picks up today. And this one is called The Present. Put your hand on your head if you like presents. If you like to open presents and get presents. On Tuesday is Elisa's birthday, and she's asked for 2 presents. One, she wants to get her hair highlighted. Her dad doesn't understand that. And then her second present, she wants a bag of potato chips. She wants those 2 things. So we'll see if she gets those presents. But in this story, Abraham is going to give God a present. Do you know that we can give God presents? Have you ever thought of that? Well, we can. All right, here we go. God knew that this secret rescue plan could only work if Abraham trusted him completely. God had to make sure Abraham would do whatever he asked. So he was going to ask him to do something really hard. So a few years later, after Isaac was born, God asked Abraham to give him a present. Abraham liked giving presents to God. He gave God his animals. They were called sacrifices. And they were a way to say, I love you to God. But this time, God didn't want a lamb or a goat. God wanted more. He wanted Abraham to give him his son. His only son, the son he loved so much. God wanted Abraham to give him Isaac. Put his boy on the altar and kill him as a sacrifice. How could God want him to do such a terrible thing? Abraham didn't understand, but he knew God was his father who loved him, and so Abraham trusted him. Early the next morning, Abraham and Isaac set off. Isaac carried the wood. There he is. Isaac's carrying the wood. Sit down, though, so everyone else can see. And his father carried the knife and the coals. See, those hot coals are glowing in that bowl. Isaac didn't know where they were going. Papa, Isaac said, we have everything except we forgot the lamb for the sacrifice. God will give us the lamb, son, Abraham said. They built an altar and laid the wood on top. Abraham asked his son to climb on top of the wood. Isaac didn't understand, but he knew his father loved him, and so he trusted him. He climbed onto the altar, and Abraham tied his boy to the wood. Isaac didn't struggle. That means he didn't fight or try to run away. He just laid there quietly and didn't make a sound. Everything was ready. Abraham took the knife. Tears were filling up in his eyes, and pain was filling his heart. His hand was shaking. He lifted the knife high into the air, getting ready to kill his son. Stop, God said. Don't hurt the boy. I want him to live and not die. I know now that you love me because you would have given me your only son. That would have been a scary thing. Abraham felt his heart leap with joy. He untied Isaac and folded his arms around him. Great sobs shook the old man's whole body. Hot tears fell from his eyes, and for a long time they stayed there like that, in each other's arms, the boy and his dad. They were just holding each other because his dad was so happy that he didn't have to kill his son. Suddenly, Abraham saw a ram. There it is, that animal right there, caught in some brambles, the sacrifice. God had given them what they had needed just in time. The ram would die, so Isaac didn't have to. And so Abraham sacrificed the ram instead of his son. So Abraham ended up killing the ram instead of his boy. But as they sat there on the mountaintop, watching the embers of the fire die in the cool night air, the stars above them sparkling in the velvet sky, God helped Abraham and Isaac understand something. God wanted his people to live and not die. God wanted to rescue his people, not punish them. But they must trust him. One day, someone will be born into your family, God promised them, and he will bring happiness to the whole world. God was getting ready to give the whole world a wonderful present. It would be God's way to tell his people, I love you. Many years later, another son would climb another hill, carrying wood on his back like Isaac. Like Isaac, he would trust his father and do what his father asked. He wouldn't struggle or run away. Who was he? Do you know who that was? Do you know who that was? It was God's son, his only son, the son he loved, the Lamb of God. It was Jesus who would later be the next son that climbed the hill and didn't fight when he was the sacrifice to be made. All right, next week, the girl